then try to play from there.
There's no way.
Well,
But yes, there is.
Okay.
And actually, it's a fine pick. We'll see how it is going to go.
Well, wait, this is a situation where Wei actually should be really good. If the map is not in complete tatters, which unfortunately I think is what T1 is going to try and look for, what you have here is a composition that with that Hui and Ezreal combo can actually really punish the lack of engage for T1. They can obviously hard force by either Carrier going really deep, Owner going really deep, but I think the T1 comp does rely on them getting ahead early. Fortunately, they do have Xin Zhao, Elise, and Caitlyn. So most likely, Nongshim is going to look for a lane swap. Neither Aurora nor Jace are particularly great in that situation. You know, you'd much rather be piloting a tank or something that... I think that's another thing
to have worked because they're defending world champions. So let's jump into the Rift for game number 1. Ooh, some loud Nongshim fans here at LoL Park today, but T1, of course, very, very loud on their end. Wow, trading flashes. And who's got the Hex Flash? Neither of them. Lehens, you let me down.
Yeah, not going Hex Flash.
Where's
That's crazy,
Hex?
actually.
What? That is your rune. Oh,
even
no.
did go for inspiration.
Yeah, go to the bottom lane.
Yeah, they kind of
fine.
should know with the amount of vision that they have. Oh, they do not know!
Oh dear, Doran going to be targeted first as there's hooks going everywhere. Flash out from Owner is going to get him out of dodge, but that means Gideon starts on red and Owner is on his way to the other side of the map. This early game is beautifully crafted from Nongshim.
The T1 really did not see that one coming. You can see they're all out of sorts here, as we do have Doran now also looking for a lane to go to. Can't really go towards the bot lane, particularly with how much he's been chunked already.
And this was kind of like Doran ganking Fisher's lane, but Lehens finding him means that it's a huge win for Nongshim.
It's also just the tempo for the jungle, right? Owner has to spend so much time walking. Like, I'm pretty sure he'll be able to clear fine. I don't think that's going to be the limiting factor. But we now have Shove in mid. Lehens is just being an absolute
just wandering around
jester. And I think he sees Owner, but like he's obviously not going to beat the Xin Zhao. He can't really do. He's just covering for Kingen. And whereas Kingen has been able to just get a ton of experience again, that's mainly what we're looking towards.
Oh, wow. I think Doran avoided vision there on his way down. Right now, Carrier wanting to find that cocoon, gets it, but great buffer on the anchor. Kingen bounces back. Let's see what can happen here. They get on top of the Aurora and take her down. Carrier repelling just to get himself out of the way as we're looking for a bit of a hook. Jiwoo fighting against Doran here. Doran winning out on that one very, very handily. But first blood going over to T1 without too much of a fuss.
Well, shame on me for overestimating the turret.
So T1 pretty happy with how that one's gone. Gideon being able to pick up this first dragon would certainly help even that out. We've got 50 seconds until the grubs are up and available as Kingen bouncing around this bottom lane and is still just taking a lot from these shock blasts that are raining through from Doran. Fisher comes down to help out, so Gideon will be able to secure this, and then should also be in position to head over towards these grubs. And Owner making his way back out onto the map as well as Lehens and Jiwoo probably going to be under the turret a fair bit.
Nongshim is Fisher's lane specifically. Will now catch most of this wave and equalize again, but mostly in terms of prio, has actually been able to allow Gideon to do stuff, right? The fact that they're able to get that dragon is nice. Does look like with the vision control, plus the fact that Nongshim need to respect that possibility of smashing Carrier sticking around. They will not be able to contest the grubs.
I do think this is setting up for a mid-game
with the amount of CC that they have available early. And for Nongshim, when they started out with this Aurora Vi and the really high priority in the early Nautilus, I was really expecting it to be a dive comp, but with Fisher and Jiwoo,
it's a lot of damage on the Faker here.
Yeah, should be enough to at least maintain that mid prio. But that right there is, I think, a good example. Both Wei and Ezreal ideally want to get multiple rotations of spells off. Like, Ezreal's burst is okay, but it does feel like the skirmishes for them, until they reach a good amount of items, are going to be kind of awkward, because if, like, Gideon jumps in on Xin Zhao, for example, like, he is not dying in the CC combo.
Yeah.
And Carrier is going to be really hard to lock down. Smash has both sums as well as barrier, and I think his positioning has been great thus far, so I kind of have a hard time seeing how Nongshim is going to do in these early skirmishes, besides just trading across the map.
I think it'll have to take some heroics from someone like Lehens, perhaps, finding an engage that he's looking for, as Smash taking a bit of damage here as there's the flash forward. They get on top of Carrier, true shot barrage, they're trying to burst him, and they take him down! You could see that was orchestrated by Lehens and Jiwoo, beautifully played to even out the kill score.
The level 6 spike?
Yeah.
But like, that's just going to be...
That should be just feats of strength.
It's going to be the Sandals going over to T1. It's not the end of the world, but the cross-map trade doesn't seem great here. It's going to be, what, like a plate and grubs? Maybe 2 plates, but still, you're giving up Dragon as well. I think T1 are going to be very happy with this.
Yep, getting the fancy shoes is definitely the main thing, as Kingin in a bit of trouble here. That flash cocoon was gorgeous, but the knockup is going to come through, denies some Q damage as well. And so Lehens saving his teammates left, right, and center, but Fisher, let's see whether he can be saved. Death ray comes down, but not going to be able to do too much more as, my gosh, okay. Smash and Carrier now just get more free time with this turret. So the thing is, Nongshim are like narrowly escaping and doing cool mechanics to get away from things, but then they still lose all their stuff afterwards, so it doesn't matter that much.
No, the objectives are still going very much in favor of T1. As you're saying, we do have a bit of harrowing commentary there from Atlas.
Yeah, I apologize for that one.
That's fine. Doran is trapping Jiu, or is it the other way around? Well, at least it's there, so I'm pretty sure that they have to respect.
Well, Lehens is there as well. Let's see whether he can tank up enough damage here to keep Jiu alive. The answer is yes, but Smash is still going to come up. The same situation, right? Yeah. It's like they turn up, and Nongshim are like, haha, we got away, but then Caitlyn's still there to destroy your stuff. They don't have enough energy to stop the Demolition Man from coming in, and he is going to do so. Still, Lehens and Jiwoo will be able to pick up this wave, and it looks like they have other things on their mind, as Gideon could be in trouble, has to flash, but there's the flash knockup. Haste in the hole comes down as well, as Gideon trying to taxi out by a Faker. It's not going to do enough. Decent damage here from Fisher. Oh, Faker is going to be taken down. Nongshim trying to get a little bit back here as Ona goes in. We'll be able to get a nice little knock-up onto King, and in comes Doran. Nice shock blast will connect. Kingin's in trouble. Smash grabs it with the very end of the Peacemaker, and he's not making very much peace with that one this game. Lehens moving on over as well, but he's lumbering in a little bit too slow to really get anything done. As Nongshim, they're just doing less.
You don't know where the opponents are. You don't have vision control, so it just kind of does not a lot.
Yeah. If they were ahead, right, it's a beautiful seat composition.
And it
but
can come back.
Yeah. This is not going to help, as Lehens is going to flash to try and get out of the way. Carrier comes down. There's a nice double knockup to come through here, and Fisher's AoE is sizable. There's the crushing more as well, and Fisher answers the attack on his support. Now Gideon looking for an opportunity. Ona goes in and just takes down Lehens. The fear is a little late to save him, but they'll still be able to give another kill over to Kingin, which I think is a big deal if they want him to be a part of this game.
Oh, if only Lehens could have just pieced out. Really good turn there from Owner. Knew he was dead for sure with the rotation coming through. But this is the issue. Like, that play was winning for Nongshim until you look at the map. Faker even teleporting to just guarantee that his inner goes down.
Yep.
And that's going to, again, increase that gold lead and bring it back to, like, the 2K that it was at before.
Yeah, 2.5 now, actually. Pushing that money a little bit further ahead. There is going to be a Rift Herald picked up here by Nongshim on the top side, as Lehens finds the wall. Fisher going to come down here as Jiu is fighting against Smash. I don't know about this one, Jiu. He just shoots and he kills. There it is. Oh, Jiu going to survive. Thought that ace in the hole was actually going to be able to do more there, as the rappel just to dodge out of the way. Maybe with one extra item, one finished recipe, Smash would have been okay.
I'm not going to lie. I think, even with the barrier, I thought it was dead.
Yeah, me too.
Good outs for Nongshim here.
Yeah.
If they're able to kind of keep the game in this pace, if they get another Dragon, which buys them a ton of time, that could potentially end up making the game a lot harder to play out for T1.
And the scaling on the side of Nongshim is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah.
T1 also have great late game damage in Victor and Caitlyn especially, but Doran's still going to be doing a fair bit of work, especially with his Hellbreaker build. I like keeping side lanes very relevant here for T1, and that is going to certainly be that. But like, you get an Aurora with 3 items as well as a Hui and an Ezreal, like, well, teamfight won't even happen and you'll be dead.
Well, it's particularly Wei and Ezreal with limited engage for T1. Their pick is amazing, their damage is wonderful, and I think the scaling is good, but like, how do they actually play out the late game fights without someone to start them in a favorable position for them?
Yeah.
you really are going to need to once Fisher finishes that second item.
Well, Gravity Field coming down, just trying to turn Nongshim. That's going to work, but Dragon is going to be picked up. Nongshim with control of an area, also very scary as far as this composition is concerned, the way they can play it. So need to tidy up where they are. And some money. And that is the 2-item spike, as you indicated to me just then, Chronicler, for Jiwoo. And the flash forward, that gets the flash out of Faker, a very important one here for Nongshim, as Carrier also possibly taking more damage than he really wants to right now, as Kingan's able to get a decent combo onto him. And this Aurora just wasn't doing anything in the early game, still 50 CS behind, but is still gonna be Aurora, as it turns out. But then it's kind of a wait until 3 or 4, and then you're happy again.
What's...
Ow.
It's also the ability to actually walk up and trade. It's just not being given, as that is going to be the mid lane turret actually falling first.
The siege power of Nongshim actually rearing its head, as Doran able to shove a wave towards that bottom side. Remember, inner turret is just gone down there, as those 2 turrets that T1 have taken, one of them included an inner.
Okay.
So, bit of extra money.
We have with that catch on the top side of the map, then want to turn that man advantage into playing towards Dragon. But then T1 now uses opportunity to rotate over, force a response from Nongshim, and like Faker's going to be back. Ooh, I think that T1 really got the better end of Nongshim here, and now they're spotting Gideon. You cannot beat Dragon, my man. They are going to start at Otacon, and they're going to be able to get control of this Tri-Brush. Nongshim, maybe the bait was successful after all.
The problem is T1 needs to kill Fisher, because if they're actually fighting Otacon, he's going to do so much damage to them. Doran on a flank angle, he's going to have to flash. He has to flash. As Doran is going to discover the rest of them. Fisher flashes into him. I don't know about that one, but they do manage to take down Doran, because there is that unending despair, or the spiraling despair, as it's said. It's not actually the item. It is the ultimate ability. They're just extraordinarily similar. So nice little pick off here by Nongshim. We'll see.
Right now, we do have lands and King towards the top side of the map, and Doran is up now. Does T1 want to pull the trigger? They can just call the teleport, but I think they're too late. That's soul point for Nongshim, Atlas.
Yeah, this Dragon priority that Nongshim are putting on, I'm really impressed with, because that is a real win condition for this team. They have so much damage. Like, it is insane. And they can hit it without a fight actually starting. So sometimes you've got these dive compositions that do damage very short range.
Yeah,
they have to go in to make the damage happen. Nongshim doesn't. They just do it.
They're going to give it.
Speaking of just doing it, this Otacon is just gone, yeah. So I feel like there was a good thing about the Dragon, and then they had an opportunity to not just give this up. But they're going to. And so Otacon is going to be picked up. They do not commit to trying to kill them after the Otacon goes down, which we've seen a few times. This is still a huge deal for T1. They should be able to push up this top side, and we'll see what the strategy is. We've seen Otacon used in different ways.
Particularly if it's someone like Doran that has TP available, that's going to be a trait that favors you every single time. The only downside is the poke is so crazy. Not quite the Criploom done yet. Not quite yet the third item for Jiu. But
Lahan's clearing wards here a little bit. Cocoon going to miss, though. That means that he will survive. In fact, the Shock Blast, the wind becomes lightning, everything. Going to be missing the Big Daddy. And so Lahan's able to keep that health bar pretty high up. Doran going down low, as you can see. Faker moving over, looking for Kingan. Kingan will be able to go into stealth, be all right for now. And now the Hui problem is coming in. Carrier looking for the engage, but the arcane shift out from Jiwoo is going to help keep him safe. Lahens goes down first, though, and Nongshim, they have no right to be here. And they are able to get themselves out. Thankfully, Fisher has a lot of abilities. In fact, way too many to remember the names of. And that line of damage, not going to be something that they want to walk through. As now Kingan looking for Faker here, as he does a lot. But he may also just die as the ace. No, threats the needle! They do trade, never mind, they don't trade it because Faker just goes back to the base for a little while. And so that will be the Baron over to T1. Excellent use of this Otacon to guarantee an even bigger buff.
Was the way for T1 to get back. Now they got Otacon, now they got Dragon.
That's why I was celebrating for Nongshim. I'm like, oh, this timing means that they don't give Otacon, but then they just give it anyway.
Yeah, and now I think T1 are firmly in the driver's seat again. Vision is being denied, traps are being set up, both Caitlyn traps and Vision traps. A ton of vision available here.
Oh, look at this.
Gideon
this
is going to get
flank ward.
spotted.
Yeah, this flank
That's a
ward by
deep
T1
flank.
is fantastic. They've got a teleport to come in as Gideon does manage to get in there with the ulti. Flash out, though, avoids the anchor, and down goes the buy. Fisher now finds the spiraling despair onto Carrier, but he's not actually that sad. Jiwoo gets over the wall. Lahen's going to be taken down as Kingen trying to do some damage here, but Ona gets on top of the Ezreal, who flashes away and gets struck by the lightning of this Xin Zhao. And T1, they may just end just here. It's only Kingen left alive, and there is so much damage.
It's not the T1 Baron, it's the T1 Otacon that does Nongshim in.
Yeah, one little kill for Kingen on the back end, but Nexus turrets are now falling. Smash, 100% win rate here in the LCK Cup after his third victory. Looking absolutely fantastic over Nongshim in this game number 1. But I think it was more interesting. Supposed to pick it 4. You could play Rel with anyone. Misfortune would have been A-okay.
Well, Atlas, I was kind of upset about the fact that you didn't ask me what my favorite flavor of ice cream was, but now I'm upset about this!
Oh, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream? Please take me away from talking about this.
Mango.
Oh, really?
Mango, yeah.
Interesting.
Love mango ice cream.
Would you like more of a sorbet or like an ice cream?
No, not because for sorbet, my favorite flavor is actually lemon.
Yeah, mine too. Like the classic.
You can't.
I mean,
can't beat it.
It's going back to the it's going back to the whole vanilla thing, but I do think lemon sorbet is so good.
Yeah, what you can.
Speaking of
what
good,
you can beat.
Lulu and Jinx in a lane against Xayah and Rel.
Oh, I don't think they're going to be laning against one another. But then you still win because you have Cassante in the lane swap.
Yeah,
and they have Renekton. Yeah.
I just don't know whether it was the greatest choice on the line. Maybe they can prove us wrong. All right, let's get into it. Let's see whether Nongshim can show us something that we weren't expecting. And by we, I mean me and Chronicler, at least. I'm sure there's some of you in the chat and here at LoL Park, perhaps, that just know Jiwoo has a plan. And his first part of the plan is by picking Ghost, which is fun. Gets to run a bit more quickly. We've got some backs coming on through on some wards, which makes me a little bit frightened given the location of Lahen's right now.
Owner is not aware, I do not think.
No, he was. Lahen's was just backing on a ward.
Yeah, never mind. Okay, so
he's aware of everything.
So they do know.
Oh, T1 is setting it. It's plans within plans, baits within baits, and now they are going to cascade on top of Nongshim. Oh, Lahen's with some fancy footwork there. Actually able to get out. Does have to expend a lot. And now Carrier flashing over this wall preemptively to make sure that Fisher is going to die to Smash. Ladies and gentlemen, on... Okay, never mind. Maybe you won't. Jiwoo's going to turn up. And there's the flash forward from Smash. Gets the flash finally out of Fisher. Jiwoo might be the one that pays for his sins, or at least is going to have to go back home. So they survived. And Fisher also wasn't actually able to go back as well as Lahen's crashing down.
It's just a disaster.
Yeah, this was not the early game that you were hoping for, as Lahen's is going to spot Owner out, and he's going to wonder when things are supposed to get good.
He has his passive stacked.
Yeah.
Fisher still doesn't get thrown back!
He's still going to die, ladies and gentlemen. That is going to be Smash finally finishing it off. There's first blood. Shout out to Reckless there with the Fnatic.
He did it at the end of the red buff. Smash is here.
Again, he didn't die.
Kingen doesn't even have TP! Lulu's gonna murder him!
Is he just gonna get like, look at picks, the picks damage, even the Cull, the Meek. Carrier's not Meek. He's looking for it, finds the auto, and the flash was used as well. Find me some good noodle news, please, someone. As T1 finding everything they want on this map. 1,000 gold, the lead at 4.5. Bad, but
well, not only would it have felt like a defeat, it would be a defeat, but it would be better dying without TP.
And using flash anyway.
So the one upside for Nongshim, and I'm really kind of stretching it here, but Doran, you know,
their Nexus is alive?
Yeah. Doran did have to walk back to lane because he didn't have TP because of the weird early situation, and Kingen was just farming away happily, so they do have a little bit of a gold lead there. And maybe this is T1 who now gets overconfident and overinvests.
Lures them into a false sense of security, Chronicle?
Yeah. That's couple it with like something else, like a yogurt,
raspberry.
Or something.
Have you done mango raspberry? Oh,
yeah, that's a classic combo. You know, you can go other tropical flavors. You cannot look at
crocodile
what's transpiring here. Oh,
doesn't get hit by the moment. Look at the adorable snowman, and he's fallen asleep. Hopefully, he was asleep when he went down, as Carrier is able to tank up the turret. Another beautiful dive orchestrated here by T1.
Is level 3.
It really does not. It does not get much worse than this as far as Nongshim's experience in this early game.
Oh, he's level 4 now.
The
so that's
shutout. The shutout that T1 have put down in this one is kind of absurd.
There's no playing the game from this point on, unless T1 makes some colossal mistakes. This game
No! No! That is illegal! Oh, thank God! Oh my goodness! And it's not that we wanted Carrier to die there in any way, but that would have been too much. Nongshim would not have been able to cope if that hadn't have been an actual pick.
All right, we get Carrier, right? Fisher, he's going to kill Smash. He gets the E. He's going to go in.
Okay.
He doesn't have ult.
That was a bit weird,
No,
but that's okay.
Oh, no.
5-point strike.
Oh, Lulu's there. It's,
he gets it. He gets it.
That's two.
Yeah, Carrier's only level 5, so it doesn't have the wild growth. Couldn't actually keep him alive. Is now King and able to stun up Faker here. Fisher is very dead.
Just dodge. Dodge the ult. No ult. Oh. It's so playable, Atlas.
Oh, we are so bad.
It's so bad!
It's not, actually. Don't get us wrong. This is still doomed.
2020.
That was a while ago now.
We will have a possible fight here, and if Nongshim just slam another one of these, now there is ult for Carrier, and Smash has cleanse, so this might be a bit of a hard one.
Ooh, Nongshim at least going to go even on grubs. Here we go. If they get all of these, then they're actually
big.
Capable of getting towards a feat of strength, perhaps. The Faker's moved up. Kingan's moved down, though.
Faker, I think, looking for the ult.
All right, that's going to be the secure by Gideon, so that is a feat of strength. Or at least almost a feat of strength. As Doran, perfect execution is named weirdly here on the bottom side of the map, but will allow Fisher to escape.
Atlas, we are on the verge of playable. 2K goal deficit at 11 and a half
You are really buying into actually commentating a video game here, aren't you? I don't know.
I can't just keep talking about ice cream. I need to do my job. At least a little bit. Okay, hear me out. If it goes back to a free 4K gold lead, talk about ice cream I want, because I think we also haven't really touched upon what if you want like a hearty flavor versus a fruity flavor.
Oh, that's true. So we can hold on to that one as King is solo killing Faker. No flashes left as Faker gets himself out, but the Renekton still doing what it says on the tin.
We're not going to be talking about ice cream. Nongshim, we're going to Rocket Belt now at the ready. And T1, for how well they've been playing, it's still a Jinx composition on only a single item, so maybe there's an opportunity here.
And they don't have still a whole lot of peel, like we were talking about. Lahens takes a lot of his health in damage.
Okay, get in. This is your moment. They can let it go. And they would have to invest King and CP as well with Doran's roam over. Ooh. So I don't think that this was necessarily a bad call, as it is the Ocean Rift gracing us, and Kingan is actually going to get a good amount of gold from this.
Pedal!
Why would you not just hit it? Just once.
What?
So
the pedal right there. It's like the cinders all over again. If Orcs is watching, he is also fuming right now.
It's free stats. Yeah. And not just for you.
Yeah.
It's the whole team.
Oh, man. All right, last game, and we were kind of talking about last game as being, maybe I'm in it with you. I'm in it with you. I'm in it with you.
We're locked in. We're doing it, Atlas.
It's a real video game.
Lahens is on a flank. They are unaware. We've got spotted here. Oh, God, not the same spot.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
It's a different board, but it's the same trauma.
I've seen this before, as Owner is going to slow him down, speed himself up.
They turn.
They're going to look for it, as now Owner is just going to kill Lahens. So Lahens is really dead, but is he actually going to be able to get out with his life? That's the question. No tag on a shuriken there, as Faker is on a ward. Fisher still wanting it, wanting to find an opportunity. Meanwhile, Doran is just, you know, unaware of the funny business that's going on the top side of the map. He's just doing his best to win the game. That is kind of working out here.
Unbothered was Doran, who's just like, I can just push, I can TP if we need to, but he clearly didn't. They got cleanse and heal. which is something. I think that's actually in where no one can see it.
Did he ult at all? Well, as it turns out, he did. It filled up his rage bar, though, as we can see. They get vision on Carrier here, as now Lehens, he's driving. Let's see what can happen here as the Glacial Prison goes entirely wide. Owner is in trouble. Nice wild growth, but it's not going to be enough there as they manage to take down the turret, but not before Doran makes his way in. Faker's there as well. You got the all-out. Is the public execution going to be employed? The answer is yes, but it does not land. And Nongshim, it's a 1-for-1. They take a turret. You call it a trade-up, I guess.
You get the shutdown. That's worth. Unironically, that's not that bad a trade. The problem is that they're probably going to lose their own mid lane.
And they might lose Fisher as well, who's inside the Shroud, but that will wear off eventually. Doran's health bar isn't infinite as Smash did not want to tank that turret shot as well. And they run out of minion wave. Nongshim able to breathe a sigh of relief. He has. So. I think you were right. You were absolutely right. Arakan up and available.
It was us and the viewers at home.
It might have been helped by the ice cream conversation. I actually think you did good work there. Because people probably wanted to hear more about ice cream, but now the game's got in the way. As Faker is also just going to dive on top of Jiu, who does have to use his Feather Storm. He dodges the damage of those feathers, and Faker's out of there. He's like a wraith. As now, Kingen looking for Smash, or is Smash looking for him? Super Mega Death Rocket connects onto Fisher. He doesn't get the Shuriken, and so Kingen will be going down. And Gideon now slowed down by this bowling ball that does way too much damage over time.
That's Otacon.
Yeah, no, I think that is an unanswerable.
No, there is an answer actually.
What's
Pivot back to ice cream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Otacon's. It's at this point it feels kind of overdone, but that's Otacon gone. There isn't
trade
really
for a dragon.
Yeah, second Ocean Drake. There isn't really anything that can be done as Faker does take a little bit too much damage. It was him that set up the play though. Gets the ult onto Gio and then crucially also dodges the pullback of the feathers with the AMBESSA ability. Using that passive very nicely. And
Faker actually having a really good AMBESSA game.
I think the fights have been played well. I think in lane there were a couple of... Khan is here. T1 have carte blanche to do whatever they want for the next minute and 50 seconds. And as we said, all that Nongshim got was just an Ocean Drake.
Yeah. They at least get it. So it's
Gio has 2 items. If he gets a third...
Yep. We're ganking Faker in a side lane when Faker cannot die. And the rest of his team are coming over. Fisher, if you reveal yourself, you are condemning yourself to death, but he didn't.
Nice.
Really
I can't
nice
believe no one is checking that brush. Are they going to go... Like, Gideon is still there as well. Are they going to go for the deep flame?
Oh, God.
Oh, they are!
Well, let's see what they can do here as Jiu is at least able to avoid the public execution. And Nongshim, they decide better of it. And I do not blame them as Lehens. He could just be all out at here. It's a decent Magnet Storm to buy some time from Faker. Gideon, he books it and dives underneath as T1 are now trying to back themselves away. I think it might still be a rough time for Nongshim, but Gideon makes it out. And there's another ticket home here for Doran as well.
Oh, if Fisher had hit that E, maybe that would have been an opportunity.
Double teleports. Faker goes into the mid lane, and Doran is going to come back up once again. The sleepies come down as Owner is likely to die. Never mind. Actually, the turret just goes down, and Owner is still alive. 30 seconds until this Otacon buff goes down again, as Fisher at least gets himself 100 gold. But they'll lose an inhibitor for it. That's 2, so maybe he's almost got a kill's worth of money here. But if he dies, then that's actually a huge deal. Not going to, but the inhib will still fall. And T1 retain that stranglehold on this game.
Could have been worse, Atlas.
I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking.
Bot lane inhib went down. Maybe we do. Yeah, we do a TP flank. Why not?
Oh, 4 seconds.
Because we can kill Doran. Smash can't die.
No, Smash can die now. Because the buff just wore off.
Timed out.
Yep, Fisher is going to look for the angle here. Melee range with a manaless Jinx. Seems somewhat doable as he flashes in to execute Smash. Permafrost being used for what feels like the first time this game as well. Both keeping Doran alive for way too long. And Owner, he has so much AoE damage, it is disgusting. And now Faker is corralling them. Lehens is at death's door as Jiu is just trying his best to be alive in this situation. Another pack of feathers are just going to do nothing as it's a triple for Owner as he just tidies up Nongshim. Somehow it's Lehens that's the last man standing. But I don't know whether that really matters at all. T1 moved to a 6,000, 7,000 gold lead. And
is he in trouble, or is it?
I don't know. Who's in trouble? I think Nongshim are in trouble. As now Fisher is looking for an angle. He's spotted on a ward. Magnustorm's there. As Super Mega Death Rocket also helping out with the AoE. Ona turns up though, and Fisher is out of there. Hasn't actually offered any damage to this fight. As now King desperately trying to stay alive and keep Faker away. But Gideon's down, and Smash gets excited, understandably so. With a jungler looking as good as Ona is right now, it must be pretty nice being on T1. 8-1-0 on this Lilia. 3 items complete. Oh my goodness, he's just a monster.
Both games Atlas is in was also kind of crazy.
Oh yeah.
And showing his performance on what it really is feeling like one of the stronger junglers at the moment, particularly with Fearless continuously. Oh!
He got an ice cream!
I love that!
Wait, is that a coffee ice cream? Tiramisu ice cream?
Stracciatella, probably?
Oh, it looks pretty good. Can I have one? What? Oh, that is... You know what? I was tempted to storm off.
I think Lulu answers pretty handily.
Oh,
why are you taunting Atlas?
Stop this! Stop putting him there!
That's so mean!
It looks delicious!
It is!
Oh, and I'm also trying to do keto at the moment. I can never eat that. I just can't eat that. I want the mini-map back! Give me the mini-map, thank you!
We don't need the mini-map,
I need the mini-map! That's okay. First inhibitor, I think there was an inhibitor that went down. There was a beautiful Captain Jack there from Smash as he avoids the Glacial Prison. Some redemption to keep them all alive again, but it's Nongshim that need redemption in this game, and they are not going to get it. Fisher looking for a backline as Smash takes a bit of damage and then proceeds not to care at all about the situation. Wild Growth is going to be used, and he will actually be taken down. But we all know the real carry was in fact Ona. And Kingen now just using the fountain to keep his health bar a little bit higher as they are losing health bars on T1's side. Maybe dealing with this Nexus turret could be a good idea as the Flash Polymorph comes in to make sure that Jiwoo can't get any more work done, but he's still kind of doing it. And now Ona throwing these bowling balls around Kingen, keeping himself up here as Doran will be able to take that one. And Carrier just wants to try and find the kill, but he doesn't get it in the end. And T1 will take down Nongshim 2-0 here in our first match of the day, the final day of this week, and the first one, the last one before